Hi Pisces, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. The first two cards that we have out are Nine of Cups and Seven of Pentacles. I kind of feel like you're dreaming about something. See how the gaze of this person is looking at the Nine of Cups? I feel like this is an active investment in what you want and kind of led by a connection that you feel to what this is. Like something that you feel deeply inside of you, which is connected with the Nine of Cups, like on a deep heart level, what it is that we're feeling. Seven of Pentacles feels like actively investing in that, actively manifesting in that. But at the same time, because we have Seven of Pentacles, I generally see this as being in that position where you may, like, you know that you're doing something, but you may not have seen a whole bunch of stuff happen yet. It's kind of like you can sort of see that things are growing, but as far as being able to get to that point where you're sort of getting that, like, take back from it, it may not be there yet, but I see this as like this dream of yours, or this wish of yours, or this desire of yours, or this connection of yours being so deep that I feel like your ability to connect with it is what's helping you move through the process. Meaning, like, if you have a vision that feels really important to you, and you're actively taking steps to sort of make this happen, whatever it is, you can be at a phase where you're like, well, I haven't seen a whole lot come from this, but my sort of belief in this or my connection with this thing is so strong. And every time I think about it, I'm just like, I'm fine being here. I'm happy to be here. This is what I want to be doing because this matters to me so much. So it feels like it's sort of like getting you by or getting you through during a time when it can be difficult to do that, because sevens can be a time in a phase where we start questioning things a little bit. Like, is this gonna happen? Is this not gonna happen? Has this been worth it? Is it not? Like, you can kind of feel like you're in that place of something's gonna happen after this point. And I really do feel like you strongly and securely have your sights set on whatever this Nine of Cups is for you. Whatever this want is, whatever this wish is, whatever this dream is. It can feel challenging, definitely requiring patience, requiring maybe some faith too. Again, sevens can be those times in the phase. We have Seven of Pentacles. Sevens are the times in the phase where you're like, am I going to keep doing this? Am I going to keep trying? Am I going to see this through? All of those things can be coming up where you can really be, it's a time of self-reflection when you're really tuning in and connecting with yourself and asking and sort of reviewing as well. Saying like, do I still want this? I do want this, but I see more than anything, this Nine of Cups feels like something very real for you. And so I'm not seeing something that can easily be sort of like going away. This feels like one of those things that can really get you by. Like, this has meaning for me. This is important to me. And so I do want to see this through. And because this is something important to me, the wanting this to come to fruition, or like wanting to see this through and like get that result of whatever it is, that is motivation enough for me to stay here and to keep doing this, or to stick with this. And working away. You keep showing up consistently, you're going to get what you want here. I'm seeing Eight of Pentacles and I'm seeing the Chariot. When we have the Chariot, it is about sort of carrying something on our backs that we want. So this can be a process that sort of has safe passage. What is going to be the method to use here? We have Eight of Pentacles. This is like, you keep showing up, you keep doing your thing, you keep sticking with this, you will see what you want to come out of this. Whatever this is that you've been dreaming up here, see this person working in the field, but they're kind of like daydreaming, like this is what's going to happen if I keep doing this. It's like that. And the really like the secret to this, or the strategy to this of like how are you going to make that happen, is you keep working, you keep sticking with this, don't give up. Really that simple. So that Eight of Pentacles feels like the decision, like, yes, I'm going to keep doing this, and you really will see you accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish here. You can be feeling like this is hard work. I kind of get that vibe more than anything. Like maybe this is a difficult thing to try to maintain the process of. Meaning, sure, this is like a dream of yours. This is something that you want. But in like what it takes to actually make that happen, you can feel like it is a lot. But it feels like if you just keep showing up and doing your thing here, that you will make it happen, even though you can be feeling like, is this all that it's cracked up to be? Like, you can really be asking yourself at this point, like, it doesn't mean that you don't want this thing, but you can be saying, is it worth it? Like, this can be really stressful, or this can be taking a lot of energy and taking a lot out of you, like having to exert a lot of energy, having to do a lot of things here. And you can feel it being hard on you, this process. But I'm getting like, no matter how it is that you perceive it, like you don't lose sight of what this is that you want, and you also, it doesn't lose value. It feels like no matter what may waver, that part doesn't. This never becomes something that isn't important to you, or it never becomes something that you don't want. Like it stays being like that for you. And I feel like that's also comforting to know. It's not like this wish of yours, or this dream of yours, or this thing that you want, you ever lose sight of that. Even if you can say, like, I really want this, but I'm not seeing this be the case, but if you were to look at this thing and say, yeah, I still really want it, and it still is really valuable to me, but this is like too much work, and so I'm not going to be doing this. It doesn't mean that this thing is less valuable to you. It can just mean that like it's too stressful or something. But I'm also not seeing that be the case here. This feels like, no, it's worth it to me. I want to keep doing this. This can feel really intense, what you have to put in. At the same time, though, you can feel like this is what you want, and so this is just what you're gonna do. Like, not giving up on it, I get more than anything here. It's a lot, but it's worth it. This can be too, it's stressful, but I feel like a real sense of joy from this, and a real sense of happiness, or I feel a real deep peace as it is connected with this. Even though right now it can be feeling like there is, I think, a high level of energy that's required from you, at a high level of presence, a high level of commitment, a high level of maybe care and sticking with this. A major exertion of energy. At the same time, having the Ten of Cups there feels like this is something that can feel difficult to sustain it, but I'm also not seeing this be, it feels like a phase of things. I'm not saying it's going to stay like this. It feels like this part right now can be asking a lot of you, and it can feel like a very heavy workload, we can call it. Energy load, we can call it. At the same time, I'm seeing that you are going to achieve what you're wanting to achieve here. So it feels worth it, especially when you know that you're going to be able to accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish here. because this is an investment in your pursuit of happiness. Feeling at peace within your life, feeling a sense of fulfillment. I really feel that deeply, that it's worth it because of that. Like, it's worth the agony, or it's worth the stress, or it's worth the heavy workload here, because what it is sort of delivering to you is irreplaceable. I wonder if you feel at times like not everybody understands this. Why are you here? I wonder if part of this comes from a place of doubt within you. Like, for those of you that you can struggle with things having to do with like self-esteem or self-worth, especially, is the way that this is coming off, or just like emotional stuff that you've gone through. I wonder if there's a part of you sometimes where, like, in a situation like this, where stuff is stressful, but at the same time, like, this is really what you want and what you know to be true for you, and really what you're believing in as well. And you know, like, this is good for me. This is something that brings joy into my life. This is something valuable for me. This is something that is connected with my bliss. It's connected with my fulfillment. There can be another part of you at times that maybe doesn't feel the best about yourself sometimes, and maybe feels like am I like good enough to feel happy within my life? Am I good enough to feel fulfillment? I feel like this can come from feeling at times like you're not good enough, or nothing is good enough. Like, this can definitely come from feeling like sensitive to things like criticism, but all of it coming back to self-worth. Like, for example, this can be maybe some type of emotional issue that you had with a guardian or parent growing up, where you could have felt like things were never good enough, or you were constantly being criticized or like demeaned in some type of way, or there wasn't like the emotional support that you felt like you needed. So now it can be a time where, like, even if it's in the back of your head, you can be like, do I really deserve to be happy? Or like, so it can be something kind of unconscious that ends up happening, that can at times like maybe delay you making certain moves for yourself. And even right now, I'm seeing you be in a place where that is what you're doing. You are making moves that are connected with your joy. You are making moves that are very heart-led here. At the same time, you can go through some stuff psychologically that can maybe like attempt to influence you to not do this, and working with that part of yourself, which can be difficult. And I think also working with the part of yourself that, like, with this Eight of Pentacles, I'm seeing you here, I'm seeing you showing up, I'm seeing you giving your best, and you can have these thoughts sometimes where you're like, it's still not good enough, or like not perfect enough. This can be a perfectionism that's here. But I feel like it happens because it's tangled up in something a bit emotionally, just because we have the sign of Cancer here, and there can be stuff connected with the home where the origins of this came from, or stuff with like a motherly figure, archetypally speaking, where this came from, and feeling like maybe a lacking of something, like maybe didn't fully have something that felt super emotionally supportive at times. And so then internalizing that, and now you in a position as an adult within your life, this can be something that on more of an unconscious level at times, or maybe sometimes you're like completely aware of it, that this sort of comes up and can feel a little bit discouraging. Even though when you see Eight of Pentacles, you see somebody where it's like you're doing a really great job, but that Five of Swords sometimes can be like not feeling that, or not recognizing that within yourself, and then being like, do I even deserve what the result of this would be anyway? So that, I'm seeing there be a working with that. And so there's, not only are you working on something that is like of utmost importance to you currently within your life, and really tuned in to something very important and key for you right now, you're also working through some psychological stuff too, some energetic stuff, some karmic stuff that you're moving through and healing. So that is also happening as you're doing this. And I do also feel like there's more of an ability to voice what you want and what you feel to be true for yourself, and to really make moves that feel like they are connected with what you truly want, like in the depth of your heart, rather than making moves that you feel like are kind of inconsequential. This feels like from a very checked in place, from a very tuned in place, from a very, like, I am feeling the core and the center of my heart and then making moves accordingly. Like that's the like wave that you're on right now. And so to continue doing exactly that, even though this does feel like a bit of that checkpoint where there can be some stuff that's coming up where you'd be like, why would I question this? Like, why would I maybe walk this back and not do it? And it's because of working through that past stuff that's coming up here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.